Welcome to episode 26 of our AI GTM talk series. As you know, we kicked off the series of talks, several weeks ago, and we bring on either seasoned senior AI GTM tech CEOs. We've also brought on some revenue leaders, AI GTM practitioners, who all are trying to help clear up a lot of the confusion in the market around how do you kind of transform your your go to market as a lot of these new AI tools and technologies are coming along. Today's session is a special one. So we are really using our time this week to introduce an exciting new offering solution from Quanzu. We actually just launched a white label version of the Quanzu, AI GTM signal-based technology that we have out in the market for the last year and a half to 2 years. Wanted to really walk you all through what we have today as an offering, and this should especially be of interest to folks who are agencies, and then also anybody who might be working with agencies. There's a lot of interesting things that you can look at here. It will also be interesting to you if you're a SaaS or AI technology provider, especially in the GTM space. So with that, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Mani Iyer. I'm the CEO, founder of Quanzu. We do signal-based outbound automation tech, and we also now have this white label tech we'll talk about. And with me is Rabia Thakur, who's our head of products. Rabia, how are you?
Hello, Mani. Hello, everyone.
Yeah. Thanks for joining, Rabia. So let's get into it. I'm going to first bring up, a couple of slides, folks, and then, we'll get into showing you real, demo capabilities on and on, which hopefully you'll find super interesting. So first up is what is this all about? What are we trying to do here? So essentially, we came up with this offering, because we've heard from many folks, because I'm part of the Pavilion community, which, as you all know, has 5,000 plus, revenue leaders, growth marketers, and also even otherwise, talking to a lot of folks out in the industry, that they're all reevaluating not just their internal tech stack, but also their agency partnerships, because they're looking for kind of a next gen new breed of agencies. And so I think the point here is, the ground is steadily shifting. So companies are reevaluating their stack. They're looking to partner with a different kind of an agency that really understands AI, understands how to use AI tools and tech, and how to just bring in a lot more automation, having to have less of a reason to kind of use some of the traditional tech, if you will. And so just moving on then, this is certainly our view of how the stack, it seems to be changing, right? So you've got your traditional, up on the top right, you'll see systems of engagement, marketing automation tools for doing some marketing nurture emails still around, SDR outreach using sales engagement tools, be it the Salesloft or Outreach or tools of that nature. Account execs have their own way to reach out to prospects. But if you look at the rest of the tools, as you can see, this is a dramatically different way of looking at the rest of the tool set. What we are articulating here, what we're talking about here is that we believe there'll be one core piece of technology, pretty much every B2B company will want, which is what we are calling a signals hub, which is where you unify, bring together buying signals, person level, company level, any way that you can understand the buyer and understand the buyer behavior on the website, off the website. Essentially, traditionally has been called intent. Now the term that a lot of people are using is signals. And so you're going to need to understand all these different kinds of signals. First party signals, which is on their own website. Second party signals, which is different kind of, directory services like a G2, Trust Radius, and many others. And then you'll have third-party signals, which is all across the web. So trying to bring all the signals in and then another flavor of signals, third-party signals would, of course, be things like social signals on LinkedIn, could be signals in communities like Reddit. The list goes on. But the point is bringing all the signals in, aggregating the signals, enriching them, and then have an AI-powered what we're calling a segment builder. So you can actually segment cohorts of buyers who have some similar characteristics, and then you can do some outbound motion. Build a sequence of outbound campaigns to them. The second component we are talking about here is orchestration hub, which is where we see our tech working in a complementary way with other pieces of technology that are starting to become more and more popular. So, folks like Clay that have a different model, which is, where you can do the orchestration, meaning setting up a sequence of emails, sequence of LinkedIn messages, sequence of, phone call scripts, and then you can push from there into execution tools or delivery tools, be it an email sequencer, a LinkedIn sequencer, or a parallel dialer. Tools like N8N, which let you do workflow. But the point here is this is what the modern tech stack, at least our view, is starting to shape up around. And then you, of course, are going to have a content engine. So a lot of AI tools specifically focused on content creation, repurposing of content. Let's take a look at the Quanzu component in terms of the Signals Hub. For the folks who are watching who may not have seen our tech, we want to give you a quick peek. I'll spend about 3 to 5 minutes on that. And then we'll get into the white label, which is what this whole session is about, because we have, we're really super excited to show you the white label piece that Rabia will give you a demo about. So let's go there. So next up is I'm going to share my screen and take you all over to this piece here, which is the live demo of the Quanzu app. So hopefully it's going to come up here. Coming right up. Stop the screen share. I think I did share the screen. One sec, Rabia. Let's do it again. There it is. So I think, so I know, Rabia, we've done a lot of work on this in the last few releases. So let me kind of walk folks through the top level, right, of different capabilities that's included in the Quantum Signals Hub. So we've really focused on a collection of native signals, and we've made sure that these are the highest quality signals that you will be able to find in the market. First step is website warm leads, which is where we're able to give you de-anonymized site traffic. This works for the US. So all US visitors hitting your website, we'll be able to de-anonymize them and show them to you. All you have to do is drop a tag on your site. And once you do, you'll see that there's a way to apply a series of filters. So this is what we call, you can nicely segmented leads. You can say, hey, I want B2B leads with the work email, LinkedIn URL. You can get the full profile lead, which includes mobile numbers and complete buyer journeys. And then you can say, I want a B2C with the personal email and personal phone and so on. And then we have, in some cases, plain email lead, which is just an email is all we have on that person. What's interesting here is we give you a lot of control. So you could say, I want to get leads only from my product page, my solution page, pricing page, demo page, and leave out some of the other pages. You could have ICP, account list. So that way we will tag the leads as being specific to your ICP. You can have firmographics, where you can say, I want all the leads that are marked as being profile fit. And profile fit for me means they meet certain revenue ranges, certain sizes, certain industries, and then personas, which is where the customer can start defining things like title keywords and build a complete buying group or buying team or buying committee. You can, of course, say, you know what, I don't care for leads coming from an analyst that might be hitting my site, our analyst firm. I don't care for leads from partners. So you can create an exception list of leads you don't want from certain accounts. You can create an exception list or block list of existing leads in your market automation or CRM. And then as you keep going, you'll see that we have many ways of delivering all these. So whatever is your internal go-to-market workflow, we will fit right in. So you could have triggered daily emails into your demand gen leader, demand gen manager, who can then distribute the leads out to the sales team. We could write to marketing automation, so you can automate the entire process, going from marketing automation into your CRM and on to your sales team. We can write to Slack or Teams, and then on to things like tools like Clay, if you want to do some downstream, what we talked about earlier, which is creating the messages and so on. So the message creation, message personalization, something we don't do natively in our tech. So that's something you would do in a companion tech like a Clay, Octave, or similar. And then you have outgoing webhooks. This is where you'll realize that you can take the entire set of leads, or as will show you very soon, we have an amazing new AI component. We call it Playmaker, where you can literally use simple English language prompts to define or describe a set of leads that are a cohort. So you could say, hey, show me buyers from my ICP list that are in the financial services industry who've visited my website in the last 7 days, and are from companies with 100 million revenues and up. You could say something like that, and then boom, it'll create a segment, and then you can push that segment literally through the setup. You could push it into a Clay table, you could push it into a separate Slack or Teams channel for one of your sales teams to execute on, or you could do an outgoing webhook where you have a specific campaign for just this cohort of buyers. So this is just a quick look at what we call our website warm leads and the ability to action or operationalize those. What makes us even more interesting, we believe, is a couple of newer capabilities we've brought to market all in the last 6 months. And this one is off-site intent leads. Now we're talking things like a Bombora or any of the ABM tools, but they only do it at a company level. Guess what? We brought that down to the individual or person level. So as you can see here, you can literally define one or more topics of interest. And it's a pretty rich taxonomy. From what we've heard, this is like 50% richer taxonomy than even your typical company level taxonomies that are out there. So you already have 22,800 topics. And here's the beauty of it. We can even add more custom topics. So you could literally come to us with, here's 50 more topics that I would like, which is specific to my niche business. And we can literally create those topics for you, set them up for you, and then off you go. And what's nice here is you will see leads that are ready for unlock that are specific to your ICP, specific to your personas. And so exactly what you want. And you get to literally cherry pick and choose those. So let me just show you an example of what this might look like. So here, if you go, this is an example of something where you will see all of these, and then you can literally see that any of these can be unlocked. You can save these filters. You can auto unlock these leads. So you could say, I want 20 of these leads, 200 a month, and then these leads will be set up and ready to go for you. So then I think next up is, I think we've covered this. So maybe, Rabia, we should talk next about CRM contact monitoring. What do you think?
Yes, right.
Yeah. So how would you describe CRM contact monitoring, Rabia? What's your take on what it is?
So, yes. So CRM contact monitoring, that's a pretty unique feature that we have brought here in our product. So so any of our customers who has a list of, say, a large number of contacts from their CRM, their priority contacts they want to track. So they just need to load up their contacts into our platform, and we'll give them alerts as soon as we see some activity around those contacts. So they'll still need to set up their topics if there is some activity across the web around those topics for these contacts. So they'll be notified immediately.
Yeah, so I was going to just bring up a sample template here, and so just so folks can see what that looks like. But I think the top level point here is that all we need is like the email address, right, of individual contacts from the CRM. That's really the most critical piece of information.
So rest of the information, whatever they give us back, that will be given back to them in form of their alert or in the Signals hub.
Right.
But what we need is the email address.
Got it. And so then I think the alerts are then configured where we can write to email, we can write to Slack or Teams. And then I think we have sample of the kind of alerts that we are able to deliver. And this, by the way, is the specific, let's say, a set of contacts. And this particular example is, one of our larger clients, right? This is their $14 billion Microsoft solutions provider. One of their sales directors essentially, right, has loaded 9,500 contacts. And then what he's got set up is a whole bunch of topics. And then literally every day we're seeing anywhere from 25 to 85 alerts that's being delivered, right, into their Slack channel. And so the beauty of it is these are the prime targets. So he's got his patch of accounts, which is, some 63 odd enterprise accounts. And then across those, he's got these contacts. And here we are telling him exactly what topics are of interest to any one of his contacts. And so that becomes immediate actionable data for him to pursue on a daily basis. This is an example of the website warm leads and how we're writing it back to their Slack channel for them to go action. Right? So let me then continue the presentation, Rabia, in terms of, now hopefully folks have seen the Kwanzu, right, the signals hub, and the kind of signals we aggregate and we're able to deliver wherever they want. Now the interesting question for folks is, what next? How can I have a white label experience, right, around this Kwanzu app, Kwanzu product, which of course, you're going to be demoing. So with that, let me go back to the presentation and bring up a couple of slides just to set the context. Yeah. So coming right up. So I'm going to go back to the presentation we have. Hopefully this is coming through. There it is. So now, if this is the modern tech stack, the interesting question becomes, the gold rush, meaning there's so many agencies are realizing that you can't do same old lead gen, demand gen. You need some of these new modern techniques. You need to be able to do person level de-anonymization, resolution on the website, off the website, like we showed here, which is, again, where the action is these days. So now, obviously, this means you can deliver more qualified leads. You should hopefully be able to show significantly higher conversion rates. And then the folks who are doing this are definitely locking down some of the best customers. So what you're going to get from us, one is this modern signal-based GTM tech that we just showed you. And we're going to show you how you can set this up in a white label for your own customers. It's under your brand, your logo, etc. And I do want to call this out. Our buying signal data is pretty unique in the market now. The offsite intent you saw, I mean, literally, I can tell you it's something that we've had some data partners that are able to do in the enterprise. We brought it down to the SMB mid-market. It's the highest quality data that you'll find out there. And on the website intent, I think it's worth calling out. We've had customers run some head-to-head tests, and they saw there was a 45% more high-quality warm leads on the website that they saw relative to one of the other leading, other products out there. They saw, for another one that gets mentioned a lot, they saw like a 12x more leads that they were able to generate from us. When they looked at signal data that they could get from like a HubSpot Breeze prospecting agent or AISDR, they found that they still got much more high quality leads from our tech. So in fact, customers are using us. Another thing we're seeing is customers using our tech with tools like 6sense, tools like Demandbase, because as we've explained, person level signal data, is certainly not something you're able to get with some of those, more traditional ABM tools. So I think let's come back to the main thing. So whether you're in the ABM agency, whether you're a demand gen agency, you'll definitely want to look at this. And let's show you next, how we're going to make it really easy for you to pick this tech up, brand it as yours, and take it to market. So Rabia, over to you. How can an agency work with our tech? If you can show that.
Sure. Okay, so if you're an agency, so you'll have a Kwanzu login. So you'll quickly log in into the agency account. And here is it. Here you'll have your own agency admin dashboard. So 3 configurations, quick configurations. You'll need to set up your white label first. So just say something about your platform. So the name of the platform that you have. Then some more details about your agency, like support email. So we are trying to give you a total white label solution here, which means whatever emails go out, it will be from your email address, the one that you add here, rather than from our email. Same from the from email. So it will be all the email communication that happens, or the support email you want to configure. So everything, all email communication will be happening through your email address. So they won't see our branding, it will be your branding here. Coming next, you'll have colors and fonts. So each platform, they have their own color scheme, branding and all. So you could set up your primary color from the list of the entire this color palette, and your secondary color font as well. As per your platform, you could customize it as well. And then there's a logo. You would want to set up your agency logo. So wherever applicable, instead of Kwanzu logo, you would be seeing your agency's logo here.
Yeah.
Once you have done the setup, then next important is the Slack integration that you would need to set up. Right now, whatever communication goes out to the customer, that is from the Kwanzu app. So you would want to set up your own application in Slack. So for example, if I quickly go into Slack, you go set up a new application in Slack, go into basic configuration, and you'll see the information like the client ID and the secret and the redirect URL. You simply need to set up here. So once these things are set up, all the communication for, say, the products that we have, CRM contact monitoring, or any alerts that go out, those would be going out from your agency's app rather than the Kwanzu app. Once everything is set up, so this is a small snippet, iframe snippet, that you would need to set up into your platform for each user. So this is going to be automated. You need to replace the user ID with your customer's ID. And once you set it up, it will be seamlessly embedded into your platform. So I'll quickly show you how that will look like. So if I go here, so consider this is a agency's platform. So all of these are the app. So, and here we have iframed Kwanzu inside the agency's platform. So here you'll see the Kwanzu application. So as you can see, all the colors, font, they have been customized, and they look similar to what your platform's color scheme and logos and the font are. Rest of the platform, that is the Kwanzu platform, which you'll get as it is. Say the Signals Hub. So you have the Signals Hub, all the configurations, website warm leads, intent leads, and so on. AI Playmaker. So all of this you'll get within the agency's platform. Next, we have how you would create your clients. So this is a
Yeah. So
management.
Rabia, before we start on this, I was just going to say that while we've labeled it Kwanzu, obviously they can call it intent, they can call it signals. So however they want to package it and present it in their app, right? For example, we have a partner we'll talk about in a bit. They've actually built a whole intent-based outbound offering, right, on top of the Kwanzu
Yes.
Signals Hub, and it's actually bolted into their app. So now that I think you've explained the white label, I think next up you want to talk about how user management, right? How the agency can directly create marketer users, secondary users, and provide direct access to the end customer on the
Right.
to the
So the customer will have access to, they'll sign up on the agency's platform directly. And
right.
to make the Kwanzu application work for them, so the agency user, they'll need to come here and create a user here as well. So you'll quickly go into add new, add the user, and add the products which are applicable for that client. Select the plan which is applicable. And the important thing here is the linked customer ID. This is the customer ID that will link that user in Kwanzu platform, and it will link it to the user in the agency's platform.
Got it.
So for example, if you set the linked ID as 1234, the same would also be reflected in the iframe that I just showed. The snippet here, you have
Yep.
the user ID. You would need to replace it with the user ID that is being set up here. So, and here in the dashboard, you'll see the entire list of users. Here I can see that one client has been created for this agency account. And the products, you'll be able to see the products. Any product during the billing cycle or during the entire subscription you would want to enable or disable, you can quickly do it from here. You'll be able to see the plan they are on and so on. Next, we go into the subscription of this user. You will be able to see the usage. So this is for the agency partner, because they'll be able to see that they'll have a view of the entire customer's usage, their billing history, and they can perform actions like, set up a plan, set up new products, and for that user. And the
Yep.
reason being because the customer, the end client, they won't be able to do it themselves from their agency platform. So everything needs to be handled through the agency. So here we see the usage based on whatever product they are on, billing history. They'll be able to see the uh, invoice, download the invoice, what is the amount paid, and so on. Next, we have upgrade. So, for example, they are on a certain plan and they want their customer to upgrade to a higher plan. They can
Yeah.
directly do it from here. Add credits. So since Kwanzu has a credit-based system, so if they feel at certain point they have less credits and they want to add more credits to use for some products, a very straightforward product. You just need to enter the amount and the reason and make the payment on behalf of the user.
Yeah.
And in case they need to cancel, you have the cancel subscription option as well.
Got it. So, Rabia, why don't we quickly talk about the pricing? Since you're on the topic of credits,
Yes.
maybe you can bring up the pricing plans. And then, so folks, the way we price the solution offerings, you'll see, is it's all credit based, and it's very, very competitive. It's very, very good value relative to what you can find in the market. For example, if you look at website warm leads, you can literally start on a jumpstart plan. This is for companies with very little web traffic, and they can start for $500 at 750 credits, good for 750 what we call limited profile leads, which is like a work email, LinkedIn URL. You're literally paying 67 cents a credit, and 67 cents for a lead, a website lead. It's very compelling, because you'll find that even some of the other tools out there, they charge you more than that. It's like 75 cents, for one of the other leading products that in the website lead category. If you look at offsite intent leads, it comes in at the startup plan, the $250 a month. You'll need to add that on at $1,000 a month. You can add offsite intent. So that's like $1,250 a month on a month to month. So you can do like a 3-month POC, try it out, assuming it works, sign up for the growth plan, which is an annual plan, or the scale up plan, which is like an annual plan. So we've really tiered the pricing, tiered the model so that you can quickly come in, test. You can try, for example, contact monitoring. It's $1,000 for 10,000 contacts. And so you'll be monitoring it. So keep that in mind. With the offsite lead, you pay for every lead you pick up. So it's like 15 credits, which is like $10. Now, just keep in mind with offsite leads that you get, compare it to like a content syndication lead that costs $30 to $50. Compare it to like a LinkedIn lead form capture that costs you a few $100s. So it's a really, really compelling price point. 90,000 different websites. We are tracking engagement by prospects across those 90,000 sites. They might be clicking on an ad, they might be consuming some content. We're getting a daily feedback in a Snowflake backend. We're kind of tracking all of this, and then we're kind of bringing back the relevant, high intent prospects over to you in that unlock lead screen that you saw. And then you get to pick and choose. And then it's just a credit model. So you can stretch it out however you want. You can pick up all the leads in one shot. You can plan different kinds of campaigns. That's the beauty of this whole model here. So I think those, Rabia, were highlights I wanted to make sure we covered, right, around pricing. And so I think with that, what do we want to show them next, Rabia?
So on the white label stuff, yes. So like we saw here, we have different, so everything can be done here by the user itself. They can
Yep,
set up their own configuration. If I go into website warm leads, so the entire website visit. So the one you saw earlier, that was the Kwanzu app with the orange and the blue
correct.
branding. Here you can see we changed the branding as per the agency's partner.
Right.
You could set the similar filters, or everything can be set up here, leads delivery. all
Yep.
the delivery options. So everything, the main thing is everything that we are giving to the marketer from the Quanzu platform, it's available to the clients to the agency platform as well. And
Awesome. Awesome.
again, same goes for contact monitoring. You could reach out, you could reach out to the agency to get it enabled. The payment that is being handled at the agency level, they'll make the payment on the customer's behalf. And
Yeah.
for the customer, it's going to be a seamless experience.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So, Rabia, I'm going to go back to the presentation so we can, next up, maybe, I'm sure folks have questions around, okay, how is this different, right? Then what else is available out there? So we'll kind of get into some of that, right? So what's unique, what's different, and how is this going to continue to evolve? So I'm going to go back to the agency deck. Let's bring this up. Hopefully this is coming through. So basically, you're getting a modern signal-based GTM tech. You're getting a white label version. So you get to control the brand experience. You have the direct customer relationship. What are the guys behind the scenes? You have all this unique buying signal data. So what we are committed to, folks, is we are going to give you the best, highest quality data with field level waterfall enrichments. It's ready for your customers to use. So you'll very soon start seeing the differences between our approach to the market and then what you're getting with some of the other tools. So we talked about the kind of signals that are already available in the platform. And our commitment to you is we're going to continue to add more signals. For example, one of the things we're working on now is completing the picture, if you will, in terms of just more kind of data enrichment, more kinds of segments that we can offer through the AI Playmaker. And then next up, we're going to be looking at additional signals that we can bring into the platform. Our resolution rates, because of waterfall, are the best in the industry. We can tell you whether it is person level resolution. As I mentioned, we are 45% better than the other leading provider on the person level website resolution, 12 times better than yet another one whose name keeps coming up, that is used by Common Room and others. So bottom line, I think you get very high quality signal data. And then the account level resolution, again, we have very, very strong account resolution through another partner that, again, has a waterfall built in. You're also going to get a dedicated success manager from our side, helping and supporting you as an agency. We are building out an exclusive Slack community of what we call AI GTM Insiders. This is open to our white label agency partners. This is open to our customers. You're, of course, welcome to bring your customers into it so we can all learn from each other. And then, onboarding, integrations, we're going to support you on all of that. Now, opportunity for you all. Clearly, you own the relationship. You generate recurring revenue. You can offer premium services. We will be sharing a lot of content, playbooks, you name it. And we have some incredible partners that are already coming on board. And so the idea is that you get to build your brand as an authority on AI GTM. So let's look at this because this is what we feel is kind of the AI arms race that's underway. So this tech stack you're looking at is literally being defined as we speak. So I think hopefully you will align with us, and then we can together start evangelizing, educating. Hope folks will begin to understand that here are the three core boxes to think about in the more modern AI GTM tech stack. And then we actually have a lot of research we've done around different components that fit into the content engine box. Orchestration, what are the key workflows that need to be handled on the orchestration side versus what's handled on the signals hub Quanzu side of things. And so would love to collaborate, love to work with any of you folks who have your own ideas, insights, thoughts on how you want to see this evolve, right? And so beyond this, I would say the next key point would be what makes us unique, what makes us different. This is how we see it. We believe that you're going to see an ongoing evolution of a lot of these tech and tools that are currently in use by different customers. In the one axis is going to be what we call the availability of more signals that are the highest quality, best quality signals that are, again, more what I call dynamic signals, meaning they change more often, but then you have a way to track it and even over time, right? So any tech you build, any tech you bring in, any tech you put to use as a customer, any tech you bring in as an agency partner, you'll want to make sure it can handle just lots of this kind of signal data that's coming in from a variety of different sources. That's one axis. On the other, you're going to see one set of tools, one type of tools that are more catering to what we call rev ops, marketing ops, sales ops, GTM engineers. On the other are tools like, certainly, but that's what we are designing and building. As you saw, our tech is really easy to use and it's designed for the growth marketer, the revenue leader, to use them directly and not have to go and, so it's like zero rev ops is the goal, other than some integration and some setup in the beginning. You should not, you will not, we believe, you will not have to go and bother them anymore. They get to do their job, they get to do other things. But the point is, this is the axis. This is what we've been hearing from customers. Many of our customers tell us our signals are rich and super valuable. So even if they have other tools like a sales loft, like an outreach, like a 11x, like a AISDR, like any of those other outbound email sequencing tool, LinkedIn messaging tools, you need these kind of high quality signals that you can build those segments like we showed you with the playmaker, that you can push into those tools and then basically action the data over there. The white label opportunity is huge because you literally get to build a white label solution using our core signal tech, and then you can bring in other components around us. And then you can offer that as an alternative or a whole stack, which is a very modern AI GTM tech stack. So with that, let me now go to certainly our view of how we are different from some of the other tools and tech out there. As we said, it's more designed for the end user. It's designed with simple credit-based pricing. You get support, get high quality, ready-to-use data. I mean, I was thinking about how long it took, Rabia. Didn't we do this the other day? We went and tried to literally build very simple, technographic-based lists we wanted to pull out in Clay, and then we were trying to
Yes.
understand. We found a lot of blank revenue data. We had to come up with all kinds of business rules and logic around, hey, just plug in this field, plug in this field, plug in this field. And I'm thinking, why should it be so hard, right? Like, why can't you just give me ready to use, ready to go curated data where you, as the platform guy or the vendor or the provider, just do the work for me, give me ready to go segments that I can just use, right? That if I put myself in the shoes of a demand marketer, a growth marketer, or a sales leader, that's the ask, that's the need. They just don't want to do all this work. I mean, it's just crazy that, that's kind of the world. There's a lot of hype around it, of course, but it doesn't make sense, right? And so that's our point of view. That's kind of what we've been building: intuitive, easy to use for the GTM strategist, for the sales leader, and the simple credit-based model. So you can just think about credits, budget credits, and then very simple credit model for every literally different kind of signal. You have a standardized credit. It's not something where, from what I know in Clay, you're going to have to go figure out, okay, for the email field in this record, should I use this guy, this guy, this guy? What should I be paying in different credits for the work email, for the LinkedIn URL, for the mobile number? I mean, the list goes on. I know for a fact people are just going crazy trying to figure out how to do budgeting for some of the other tools. We
Right.
made life a whole lot easier here.
With Kwanzaa,
So,
it's going to be super easy. They don't have to
absolutely.
do, we'll do most of the work for them. For them, it's just going to be easy to plug in and just get started with that.
Just plug and go. Just plug and go. Yeah, for sure. I mean, look, nothing against those tools. You still need those tools, right? So the typical architecture, if you saw we drew, was that, okay, start with us as the base, as the signal hub, use our high quality native signal data, and then you add on some pieces from them if you need it, right? So it's more of a strategic use of some of the other tools and some of the other data sources that fall outside our purview. And it's probably also worth mentioning, right? We already know so many specialized providers that have very rich account intelligence data, different kinds of data that we partner with, which folks we're happy to talk to you about, which you may find is 5, 8, 10, 20 times less expensive than some of these tools that we're talking about here, right? So that's certainly worth noting. Now, what we are super excited about is in about 2 weeks, September 11th, we want to invite you all back for a deep dive with Scott Wyszynski. Scott has kicked off a company called GTMify, and GTMify is our first white label partner. In fact, they're white labeling Kwanzaa. And in fact, you know what? Why don't we take them to the GTMify website, Rabia? Just give them a quick peek at what GTMify is doing with the Kwanzaa tech. So I'm going to just stop the screen share, and I'm going to bring up GTMify in a new browser window, gtmify.io. And let's take them there and let's quickly show them what are we talking about. So over here, on to screen sharing, this GTM for outbound. So folks, this is what we're talking about. You as an agency can come up with some solution offerings that look something like this. In this case, they have content intelligence. They've got outbound. They do a lot already. I mean, in terms of the solution offering that they put to market, on top of what we're giving them. But if you look at the pricing, they've got a LinkedIn outbound module. They've got a cold email module, and then they've got an intent-based outbound module. And this intent-based outbound is the one where they've built it completely on top of the Quanzu white label tech, right? So that's what's cool about it. I mean, so you get to control the solutions that you offer, the pricing that you offer, how you package it up is up to you, and it's very simple, relationship with us at Quanzu on the back end for us to be able to support however many clients you want, and you'll be, we think, really, really excited about the way we are even pricing the white label. To keep it simple, what we decided is, you know what? You don't need to pay us for us setting you up with a white label, so long as you have just one customer on with us. Turn one customer on at the $12.50 a month or up, and that's it. As long as you have that one active client at $12.50 a month and up, we will make sure you've got the white label facility from Quanzu, and then you can bring on as many clients as you want. Hey, what could be better than this, right? So that's kind of it. We certainly please come back on September 11th for the chat with Scott, and then that's certainly something we would love to talk to you about. And then I'm going to bring up just this one slide, Rabia, kind of like a final slide, and see if folks have any questions. And by the way, we do have a few minutes now, which I'm sure we can take a couple of questions if there's any from the audience. Any other things, Rabia, you want to bring up before we wrap up for today?
So I would like to say that we have more couple of features coming up, more exciting features. So just stay tuned to new updates and all from Quanzu side.
Yeah, no, I think Rabia, it's probably worth mentioning for the folks who are listening that we actually have several customers who are using side by side with the ABM platforms and tools. Right. And we were on a call, as you know, right, a couple of weeks ago. And we've had those folks tell us, why am I spending 50, 60, 70, 80K on that tech where literally my sales guys are doing two things with it. One is they're looking at some offsite company level intent, and they're trying to figure out the contacts at that company that they want to email, right? And second is on the marketing side, they might be looking at some graph of some buying signal, but it's anonymous, it's aggregated, it's not even useful, it's not even actionable. So we've had some revenue leaders tell us, why am I doing this? So in fact, I think one of the opportunities we see is just a couple of things we'll be closing the loop on, like writing some of this data, writing it back into the CRM and so on, and then boom, they see actually very little reason to try to, they're literally trying to consolidate into the Quanzu tech. That's one that, Rabia, I thought might be worth mentioning. Right. Did you have anything else to bring up?
No, that's all. If there are any questions, we can take that up.
Absolutely. So, folks, this is it. Please write to us. You can email info@quanzu.com, write to customer success at quanzu.com, and then I'm going to put up the thank you slide, and then I'll just give you my credentials. If you all have any questions, comments, anything to share, you're welcome to write to us here. So again, you'll find me on LinkedIn. We have been putting out a lot of these short 2-minute videos. Hopefully you all find that interesting. Comes out of my profile, comes on the Quanzu company profile. And then that's it for now. And that was the episode 26 of AI GTM Talks.